Hello, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Whole Story with your host, AJ Stokes. We're here today with a county commissioner candidate by the name of Norman Scearce. Today, we would like to get to know a little bit about you,
Sure.
learn more about where you come from,
Sure.
and hopefully get everybody to vote for you.
I hope.
So, just start off, where are you from and what is your background?
I am from Dayton, from Trotwood proper. My background is I have pastored for the past 10 years the Gateway Cathedral. I've worked in the private sector. I've worked in the banking industry for quite some time. I own my own business currently, precision painting. I do a lot.
Sound like a true blue Superman. And if I recall right, you also are a family man as well.
That is correct. I am the husband of one wife. I have three beautiful children, Kennedy, Olivia, and Jacob. Mm-hmm.
Now, I know they have to be very proud of their father at this moment because you're doing some wonderful things. What I've learned of you over my time in the city is that you are very involved with everyone in your community in a very intimate way, and not only as their shepherd religiously, but also as an educational guidance.
Mm-hmm.
What actually led you to join up with the Trotwood Board of Education?
My goal to run for Trotwood Madison City School Board was just for me another opportunity to serve. I am a servant at heart. Whether or not I was the pastor of a church, it is still my desire to serve. And I saw that this was an opportunity for me to serve at another capacity that I had not served at before. Being able to affect change in the lives of young people, and not just my children, but people's children, like my children. So that was the initial reason why I wanted to run for Trotwood Madison City School Board.
Now, when I see most men like yourself who are very influential in their communities, they were mentored by someone. Was there a special someone like your father that really showed you these ropes?
My father was amazing. I was fortunate enough to have very strong men in my life. My father, both my grandfathers, my uncles who are famous coaches in the area, Coaches Powell from Dunbar, just a lot of individuals who took time to invest in me. My grandfather, made it possible for me to have a relationship with the Lord. At that moment, I said, I just couldn't stand it because I was a young boy, didn't want to go, and
Right.
Now I wish I could tell him thank you. So I had a lot of good role models in my life.
And what would be one defining moment that you could think of your younger days that made you the man you are today? That's always a fun question.
My grandmother, who I miss and loved dearly, said something to me one time. She says, "A man stands on his own 2 feet." And I have held on to that for many, many years. And everything I do and everything I aspire to do really kind of is wrapped around that statement, a man stands on his own 2 feet. And that could mean a whole lot.
Yes.
But it has been a great guiding light and guiding force for me.
Now, with that being well understood that you're a man who is independent and able to stand on your own 2 feet as a very strong figure, how do you figure you can work with many other people at the county level? Because that's going to be a whole new arena for you. Am I correct?
It really isn't. I'll say it really isn't because, all of it is servitude, just very different levels and different aspects of servitude. As far as me running for county commission, I see great opportunity for county commissioners to work collaboratively with cities and municipalities around Montgomery County to foster that type of communication and to foster that type of relationship. I think is something that isn't happening right now, and one of the reasons why I want to run for that.
And I was going to ask you actually very much so, when it came to the decision to be a pastor as well as a candidate for a county commission, what was your motivating factor?
Well, my first motivating factor was how can I help? How can I serve? And can I serve better in the role or outside the role of county commissioner? And there are just certain things, certain opportunities that you have to affect change in the elected role that you may not have in any other role. So that's
Now, a lot of people might not know exactly what a county commissioner does. Could you please explain for our viewers exactly what
Sure.
the role of a county commissioner is?
County commissioners actually work very similar to school board members, which means they don't set any particular legislation. They fulfill legislation that is passed down through the state legislature. But they do finance public works through the county, all county entities or county administrations. They allocate dollars that come down from the state legislature to the municipalities that the county sits over. So they're very much managers of the dollars that flow into the county from the State House.
And how has pastoring given you great experience in such, what's the word I'm looking for? Stewardship of such activities?
Well, I can't speak for anybody else's church, but for the church I pastor, you have to be able to make a dollar go a very, very long way. And I think that we can afford that. We can't afford to miss the experience that I would bring as a county commissioner in that role, from having to have had to spread dollars so thinly as a pastor. I think a lot of times people think that government has a blank check to write and do whatever they want to do, but that isn't the case. A while ago, county commissioners raised the area or county tax without voter approval because we needed more dollars to fund the things that the county does. But if we were better stewards, if we were a little bit more conservative in what we do with public dollars, we would not have had to do that. So I think my experience in stretching dollars from a private role transfers very well into the public sector when you talk about running for elected office.
Now, a lot of people will ask because they don't understand what pastoring is. Mm-hmm. Is this a large church? Is it a small church? And how does that correlate to running a county?
In terms of members, we have about 60 members, a part of our congregation. But I don't just pastor the people that attend on Sunday. I am very much the pastor of my community, and that is a title that I own. That could be hundreds, if not thousands, of individuals. And again, we'll talk about that level of servitude. Because if you only focus on, as a pastor, the people that attend your church, you are missing a vast opportunity to serve the Lord's people that may not ever come to your church. And it is very, very much the same when you talk about serving in elected office, whether it be mayor or county commissioner or school board member or anything like that.
Another thing that a lot of people will become very curious of is, what exactly is your candidacy running on for county commission?
Well, I'm running on a few things. First of which is city collaboration, beginning to open up conversations with mayors and city councils around Montgomery County to find out how the county can help undergird or how the county can help facilitate making your area, your city, your neighborhood a little bit better in ways that we can. One of which is, just making sure that cities like West Dayton, who have just been ravaged by just what happens in life, how can we help you make that a better living space for the people that we are all called to serve? The other thing is, how can we help improve business relationship in our areas? One of the things that we can do is, watch how we zone as a county, watch how we zone certain areas. If we can zone a particular area, whether it be industrial or anything else, in a certain way that would help bring progress to particular communities, we need to find out how we can do that, or what best works for the type of businesses that we want to come to the Montgomery County. Government doesn't create business, it doesn't run business, but it can certainly cause for the conditions for business to come. We can improve conditions for businesses to want to relocate in certain areas that will bring prosperity and good things to areas that have been hard hit.
Now, speaking of areas that have been hard hit, we have, as you know, experienced a tornado throughout Montgomery County. Mm-hmm. What public works should be actually allotted more finances, for the development or redevelopment of our cities in this county?
You mean from what happened in the tornado, or just
yes, from what happened in the tornado specifically?
Well, that one is a little bit more difficult, only because there are so many factors that are included with building up areas. A lot of this is going to be insurance issues where county dollars or public dollars or city dollars won't necessarily play a role in rebuilding. So that was a little bit more difficult. Now, if we were to say areas like West Dayton that had just been ravaged through the years where tornadoes haven't come,
True.
the county has the ability to develop trust funds, if you will, that would help cities like Dayton, aggressively improve areas by making dollars accessible, to get these buildings torn down, to get the blight out of these communities. So businesses will want to come and to set up shop there. So we have, employment for individuals that want to work.
Now, also because of a lot of people's ignorance when it comes, and I mean specifically my ignorance, when it comes to county commissioner, how does that tie into also how education is affected by the dollars in the communities that you serve?
Well, that's a little bit different because the dollars that school districts receive go directly to the districts. But the county does have a way to affect change when you talk about early childhood education or preschool, which isn't necessarily a district thing. Dollars can be invested in expanding preschool. And that's another way that counties can work with certain municipalities or certain cities by going directly to the school districts and say, hey, we want to be able to partner or provide you with another early education option. How can we do that? Based off, what you think your area needs. Because what we don't want to do as county commissioners is to go in and to assume what these places need. We need to have that dialogue and have that conversation with those elected officials to determine what is it that you need and how can we help. Because the county is the one that distributes the money.
Right. I really think it's wonderful that you're able to distinguish exactly how the county is able to really allocate help to the community, as well as where you really just don't have that jurisdiction.
Sure.
I think a lot of people have a lot of made up ideas of what you're able to do and what you're not able to do. And this clarification is just great. I don't think many people...
I think, not to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I think elected officials, they have a lot they can do. Sometimes, it isn't easy and you have to have the political will to do certain things. But there's a lot that can be done if we just have the goal, or the grit to do it.
Now, do you see Dayton as a city that, or not a city, but an area that is in deep trouble as far as the development for future success? Or do you think we're on the right course with the leadership we currently have?
I think Dayton is poised for great opportunity. And I'll only speak from a county position. I think Dayton is poised with great opportunity to expand. It's just going to take those of us who have the elected office to be, to think outside the box, to do things that have never been done before, and to not be afraid to do something that is a little bit kind of so far out in left field. Ultimately the goal is, what do we need to do to make things better? And what we are currently doing, per se, isn't working. So a lot of times it's about being innovative. How do you think outside the box to make these things work? And I think Dayton and many other areas have that opportunity for county commissioners and officials to be innovative about how they can help undergird cities like Dayton that can improve areas like West Dayton.
So just to actually satisfy my curiosity, does the county commission work very closely with like the Department of Health for the county or any of the other county offices that we have?
Well, anything that falls under county leadership is going to, or the county umbrella is going to be subject to county leadership and direction, yes.
So,
well, now how often they talk or how often I wouldn't be able to answer that.
Actually, I was going to say that one of the things I remember you saying was that you wanted to open up more lines of communication amongst all the people within the leadership.
Sure.
How would you do that? That was actually going to be my next question.
One of the things I would want to do is have a convention of mayors for Montgomery County. I think one of the things that hinders progress is that we just don't get everybody in the same room talking the same language. And this council or convention of mayors per se would come together. We would have dialogue. We would have conversation about what each city or municipality needs, not just from the county level, but from each other. How can you help each other be successful? And it doesn't make any difference whether you're Democrat, whether you're Republican. Everybody wants to succeed. So,
Yes.
you know, if you're doing something that has been working for you and you can lend those ideas and innovation to the person next to you or the city or municipality next to you, we need to get everybody in the same room. We need to get them talking. We need to get them brainstorming. And I think that's the first thing I would do if elected or when elected as county commissioner is to develop this council or convention of mayors conversation first and foremost.
Honestly, I got to say, though, every answer you've given me has been excellent. I can't say
you.
anything bad about it.
Thank you.
But I am curious, how would somebody who wants to support you in your candidacy actually reach out to you and to do that?
They can reach us on our Facebook page, which is Norman J. Scearce for Montgomery County Commission, or they can go to normanjscares.com, click an email there. One of the biggest ways is we need volunteers and dollars. You cannot run a campaign without money. So if you can go to our website, they can go to our website, click the donate tab, donate that way. We have many people that are working with the campaign. We'll come pick it up if you need to. You know, we'll need door knockers and we'll need, you know, just people to help walk in parades and things like that. So.
I really got to say, you carry yourself in such a professional manner. I mean,
Thank you very
it's
much.
really excellent to see a black man doing that. We don't see enough of that in the
Thank
public
you.
sector.
Thank you very much.
And I got to say, I'm just
appreciate that.
blown away by it.
I appreciate that.
And that is the most important thing for all of my viewers to know. This gentleman right here is very well educated. He is very skilled at what he does. And I believe he'll be a very strong candidate for our entire county. Please look him up. I thank you again for checking in with The Whole Story. I am your host, AJ Stokes. This is my guest, Norman Scearce. And we look forward to hearing from you soon.